Welcome to our stream. This is Ariel Gatoga, and we are streaming live on YouTube and on Twitch. And this is Psalmic Saturday. So I'm super happy that everybody's with us today. Thank you for being here. And I think I forgot to, well, it's okay. I'll deal with it later. I'm so happy to be here. We're going to do a psalm spell, and then we also have a premiere today at 11 a.m. Pacific. That's in just over 40 minutes from now, so I hope you can join us there on our main YouTube channel. And we have two amazing moderators today. We have the lovely Shirley on YouTube and the lovely Deline on Twitch. Thank you, moderators. I hope you're having a great day, moderators. And I hope everybody else is having a great day, too. Super thrilled. Okay, well, let's see. If you have any questions, you can put them right in your chat threads that are on each of these streams. And you can also just chat amongst yourselves. Please take advantage. If you'd like to be even more part of the community, we do have a Discord server and a private Facebook group. And you can find the links for those along with all of our social media in the footer of every page of our website, which is located at arielscorner.com, arielscorner.com. All right. What was I going to tell you? Something special today, but I can't remember what it is, so I'll think of it later. I've been a little bit out of it today, and I don't know why. I don't know why. I feel great, but my brain is still, I think, in bed. So sometimes that makes for a really good magic, though, because I'm not quite as what is that, left brain? So, or is it right brain? No, left brain. Not quite as logical, so I'm a little bit more magical today. So let's see. We have a shop at arielscornershop.com, arielscornershop.com. Look forward to hearing about the soft launch of our new version of that shop, which should be sometime in April. In the meantime, that's still affiliate links, which you can click on, and we make a small commission off of each and every sale when you buy something there. And also we have, like I said, a regular website at arielscorner.com, arielscorner.com, where you can have access to all of our free resources. Everything's free at Ariel's Corner, including courses, booklets, free guided meditations, lectures, articles, all kinds of cool stuff. So take advantage. It's all for you. If you'd like to give us a donation, you can do that by going to paypal.me/Ariel Gatoga, paypal.me/Ariel Gatoga. If you're on YouTube, you could use a super sticker, super chat, or super thanks if you feel like giving a donation. We're here every single day except for Monday. So on the magic streams are always at 10:15 a.m. Pacific, except for on Tuesday. We have a tarot class on Tuesday. That's usually a very brief class, but we have a good time. And that's at 9:45 a.m. Pacific, right before I have to go to work. All right? So thank you so much for being here today, and we will get going with our psalm spell right now. That's right, we will. Today we are working Psalm 110. Psalm 110 is used in psalm magic to bring peace and gentleness into any situation. It's also interestingly used to compel dogs to become docile. And you could even look at that, you could look at it as dogs in the physical world, but dogs to become docile, meaning any attacking thoughts within oneself or another to become docile. And it's also used for victory. And that's how I want to use it today. I want to use Psalm 110 to bring victory into any situation, whether that's victory over something in the world, victory within yourself. Victorious, victorious, victorious. That's what this psalm is going to do for us today, is make us be victorious. The way we work psalm magic is very simple, easy, and effective. We take the psalm that we're working and we speak it out loud all the way through once without stopping. Then we go back through that same psalm and we dig for hidden occult meanings which we find behind every verse. Those hidden occult meanings we call magic seeds. And by searching, finding, and applying what we find to our situation at hand, we are taking those magic seeds and planting them in the depths of our minds. And that is very fertile ground. And then those seeds take root. They grow. They blossom forth, and then they bear fruit after their kind. And that is exactly what we are going to do right now with Psalm 110. And I'm sure I forgot to turn off my meditation music, so just a moment. We're going to... I knew I did. Okay. The Lord said unto my Lord, Sit thou at my right hand, until I make thine enemies thy footstool. The Lord shall send the rod of thy strength out of Zion. Rule thou in the midst of thine enemies. Thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power, in the beauties of holiness from the womb of the morning. Thou hast the dew of thy youth. Thou hast the dew of thy youth. The Lord hath sworn, and will not repent. Thou art a priest forever, after the order of Melchizedek. The Lord at thy right hand shall strike through kings in the day of his wrath. He shall judge among the heathen. He shall fill the places with the dead bodies. He shall wound the heads over many countries. He shall drink of the brook in the way. Therefore shall he lift up the head. It's a very brief and mysterious psalm, and I call this an oracle. This psalm is from the mouth of an oracle. So you can imagine maybe a druid bard, a Celtic bard with this harp, playing and speaking forth oracles. So it starts out, the Lord said unto my Lord, Sit thou at my right hand. So this is the oracle speaking. It's speaking of the Lord in the Psalms, the Lord meaning the Tetragrammaton. And when we talk about the Tetragrammaton in psalm magic, we're talking about infinite well, we're talking about the infinite. We're talking about the source of all life. There's one power, one source, and one substance. And when we work psalm magic, we always must orient ourselves to this power. Because since there's only one, nothing can oppose it. Nothing can thwart it. Nothing can go against it. And therefore, our success when we work psalm magic from this perspective is assured. Now, when we say that there's only one, we don't mean one Father God up in the sky. We're talking about the unity of all that is. There's one power, one source, and one substance. This is the force. So this force said unto my Lord. So it's talking about a king here. So there's the Lord, meaning the tetragrammaton, and then there's an earthly king. And that earthly king is you. And it doesn't matter what your gender is, your physical gender. When it says, because back in this day and age when these psalms were written, in this culture, they only had kings. That was the monarch. Now, other cultures had queens, but this particular one didn't. So try to open your mind to the idea that even though if you're of a non-male gender in this body, that you are being described of as the king here. You are the monarch. The Lord said unto my Lord, sit thou at my right hand. So infinite intelligence is giving you power and authority over everything. You're sitting at the right hand of infinite intelligence, which means that seat of power and honor. And because of you being the king, you being the monarch, infinite intelligence is giving you all power to reign. It said, sit thou at my right hand until I make thine enemies my footstool. You don't have to be victorious. You allow infinite intelligence to make you victorious. Don't interfere. You don't have to do anything. You sit here with me. I will make your enemies my footstool. Now, there's a lot of interesting symbolism with the footstool. For one thing, the footstool also represents the Ark of the Covenant when you get into some of the theology behind the Hebrew Bible. But think in terms of the footstool as being understanding. So I will make your enemies my footstool, meaning I will give understanding to all of it. Victory in this sense, even though it sounds like it's being, your enemies are being conquered, your enemies are conquered because you have understanding of them, which also is Binah, sphere number 3 on the Hermetic Tree of Life. So your job here in getting the victory that you desire is to simply sit and allow it to be done for you and allow the understanding to come to you. You don't have to do anything. Now, the oracle is changing and not talking as infinite intelligence, but now is directing its oracle to you, the king. The Lord shall send the rod of thy strength out of Zion. Rule thou in the midst of thine enemies. So the rod of thy strength out of Zion. So that's your scepter. You're being given a scepter, and it comes straight out of Zion, meaning that place where you and infinite intelligence are one, where you're sitting at the right hand of infinite intelligence. And that's how you can rule in the midst of your enemies. You have the power to rule no matter what appears to be going on, and you don't have to worry about being victorious. You just rule and allow infinite intelligence to take care of it all for you. Sometimes when we hear things like this, we think, well, that doesn't sound right. Aren't I supposed to be involved? Yeah, you're supposed to be ruling. You're supposed to be doing what's in front of you to do. So you've been given this scepter to rule. As things come in front of you, before you, you take care of them as they come. But you don't worry about the overall comings and goings. You don't worry about your enemies. You don't worry about your problems. You don't worry about this thing that doesn't seem to be something that you can be victorious over. You just take what's in front of you to do. You take care of it one little step at a time and know that infinite intelligence has this. Even, it says, in the midst of your enemies. So even when there's problems that are all around you and you think, I just don't think I can ever get victorious over this. It just seems like such a big deal. It's saying, don't worry about it. Let it be that way. Let your enemies, let your problems seem to think that they've got power. No biggie. You just take one little step at a time, do what's in front of you to do, allow yourself to be guided and led in the moment. With that rod of power, with that scepter, you rule, and don't worry about it. It's all being taken care of for you. Thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power. In the beauties of holiness from the womb of the morning, thou hast the dew of thy youth. So the people are your thoughts inside your mind. So the people are willing in the day of thy power. When you allow yourself to have the power to receive this scepter from infinite intelligence, then your thoughts become focused on your power, on your victory. And thoughts are what create reality. And so the thoughts are willing in the day of your power. In the beauties of holiness from the womb of the morning. Isn't that a beautiful line? The womb of the morning. Now, the womb of the morning is hearkening back again to sphere number 3. Sphere number 3 is the womb. Now, of the morning, think in terms of that morning star. That morning star is Venus, and that morning star rises before the sun. And that is your guiding light, also called Lucifer. That is your guiding light that guides you, shows you what to do at every moment of time, every point of space. And your job is simply to be in the moment, not worry about tomorrow, not worry about the big picture. Just take it one little step at a time and allow that guiding light to guide you and to answer your questions, to tell you where to go, what to do, how to be. Thou hast the dew of thy youth. The dew of your youth. Now, dew is in the morning, right? That's what comes in the morning. And your youth is your eternal spirit. Your soul is forever young. Your spirit, your soul does not grow old. And so your victory is assured just as the sun comes up in the morning, just as the dew comes out in the morning, and just as sure as your soul is eternal. The Lord hath sworn and will not repent. Thou art a priest forever, after the order of Melchizedek. Now, this is a very important phrase for many people in occult systems and in the craft, because you will find many different initiatory orders and craft initiations and angelic and Pauline arts and all kinds of different initiatory paths claim to be after the order of Melchizedek. And Melchizedek was supposedly the very first king of Salem. And he was the beginning of what many traditions will claim to be the beginning of wisdom traditions on this earth, the beginning of occult traditions on this earth. So you are a priest after the order of Melchizedek. You are on an initiatory path. And because of that, because you are ordained as such, infinite intelligence isn't going to go back on its word. The Lord has sworn. The Lord has sworn to you, and you have sworn to the Lord. And so you're going to stay on your path, and your path will always be open before you. You may not know what's happening tomorrow. You may not understand what's happening next week or next year, but you will be guided in the moment as that path opens up to you. You are walking on a sacred way. The way, think of the way with a capital W. You are walking on a sacred way, the sacred path of initiation, and nothing will be withheld from you, and nothing will be, you won't have to worry about defending yourself. You won't have to worry about killing your enemies or being victorious over any situation, because all of that's taken care of. What you have to worry about is being on the path, one foot in front of the next, in front of the next, in front of the next, and knowing and having faith that it will unfold before you in a perfect way. And this is the path of initiation. The Lord at thy right hand shall strike through kings in the day of his wrath. So the Lord at the right hand of the Lord at thy right hand. Remember, the right hand is the hand of war, is the hand of the sword. And so you don't have to worry about defending yourself. You don't have to worry about attacking. You don't have to worry about anything. It's being taken care of for you. The day of his wrath means the day of reckoning, the day of justice, the day when everything gets taken care of. Now, to the ego mind and to the point, from the point of view of whatever it is that you want victory over, the day of reckoning is not a good day. But for you, it's a very good day, because it's where everything comes into the light, where everything becomes right again, where you're victorious over whatever this problem is, whatever this situation is. He shall judge among the heathen. He shall fill the places with the dead bodies. He shall wound the heads over many countries. So judging among the heathen, remember, for us, the heathen are thoughts of thought forms sometimes of self-destruction. They're errant thought forms. They're undisciplined thinking. They're thoughts that are constantly at odds with our good. It's always important to recognize when working psalm magic that when it says heathen, it doesn't mean that psalm magic is at odds with people who religiously identify as heathen. That's a very different topic. The heathen in psalm magic is a very specific idea, meaning those parts of our mind which are at odds with us, those egoic thought forms which are programmed to self-destruct. So he's going to judge among the heathen. You want God's judgment. You can't judge. That's why you have to take it one step at a time. If you could judge, you wouldn't have to call upon infinite intelligence, but it's not your function to judge. It's not your function to judge the overall anything, because you don't have in this particular time-space continuum, you don't have the vantage point to judge. You may be able to have the vantage point to judge at some other point in your existence, but here you don't have what it takes to judge. That's why you need infinite intelligence to judge for you. And when infinite intelligence judges the heathen, it is a type of separation or sorting out. It's a type of a sorting out process. These are thoughts that are healthy. These are thoughts that aren't healthy. These are thoughts that we want to keep. These are thoughts that we want to let go of. He shall fill the places with the dead bodies. Now that's a very powerful image. It's not so much that infinite intelligence is going to kill your foes. I mean, a lot of people want that, but it's not so much that. But think of the dead bodies. What are bodies? Bodies are vehicles that house a spirit. And so the dead bodies of the things, the thought forms that are at odds with you are simply evidence of what used to be that isn't there anymore. And it's important sometimes that we have those so-called dead bodies around us, only so that we can say, remember how we used to be like that? We don't want to be like that anymore. We don't want to be like that anymore. So that's why so many ancient warriors needed trophies when they had, when they overcame their enemies. They would have, the heads of their enemies on as trophies, because they were a reminder to themselves and to everybody else, don't mess with me. Don't mess with me. I'm serious. I mean business. Right? And it was a reminder to them. So this is just a depiction of that ancient archetype for you, that you need some trophies sometimes too. Remember how I used to be like this? Those are like scars, war wounds, and things like that. I've gone through a lot, but I'm not going through it anymore because those things are dead to me. Those problems are dead to me. I'm victorious. He shall wound the heads over many countries. Countries, nations in the Psalms, are overarching thought forms. They're the big thought forms that seem to cause trends in your life, whether for good or for ill. And so when infinite intelligence wounds the head over many countries, it's saying that in order for you to be victorious, you need to change your mind in some of these larger ways. You need to be able to be willing to see things in such a new way that you're willing to let go of those old overarching thought forms that you used to see the world through. And that's wounding the heads over many countries. We want to kill those thought forms. We want to let those thought forms go. We want to see things in a big new way. He shall drink of the brook in the way. So think of the way in this particular sense as being that initiatory path that you're walking. You're walking the path of an initiate. And when you drink the water of that path, then you not only quench your thirst, but just like when we do water magic, you are assimilating the vibrations of that water. And so you're assimilating the vibrations of this path of initiation, of this victory, of the way, of this wisdom. Therefore, he shall lift up the head. So think in terms of lifting up your head, meaning that you are standing upright, you are peaceful, you are poised, you are serene. You know that you have nothing to fear. You know that you don't have any reason to feel ashamed or feel guilty because you have drunk of the water of the way, and you are now a new person. You are reborn in this moment, just like you are with any kind of an initiation. You leave the past in the past, and you become a new being on this new path, on this new way. And that is where victory lies for you. Victory lies because you've let go, you've left behind and let go all of those old thought forms, those old nations, those old heathen, those old ideas that were responsible for your problem that you needed to have victory over. And so now not only have you solved the problem, but you've completely annihilated the cause of the problem. And you can move forward in freedom and wisdom as a new person. So you just keep coming back to this psalm again and again and again, every single day, until you get a sense of peace and serenity and certainty that what you are working on has been accomplished. You'll feel it in your gut. You'll feel that everything's okay, and you don't have any worries about the situation anymore. Once you get that sense, you know that your spell has taken, that that thought form is a reality, and that it's just a matter of time before you start seeing the manifestation of it, in which case you can just stop casting that spell and move on to something else. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. Until next time, blessed be. That's a nice brief psalm, but boy, it's a powerful one, isn't it? Can I focus on a loved one who is having problems at the moment? You can. You can. Psalm magic works best if you work on it for yourself, but you can. You can. It's better if you can get them to do it for themselves, though. Please advise me on what psalm to use to sell a plot of land. Oh, I'm always at a loss when people want a psalm off the top of my head, but let me see if I can figure this out real quick. Hang on just a moment. I'm not a very good, my mind doesn't work so well with that like some people do. You can try. Psalm 55 is a good one. Psalm 55 is a good one. See if I have another one in my lists here that I can look at. Psalm 91 is good, definitely. 112, 134. I'm sorry, 135. 112, 34, 118. I think even Psalm 1 would be good for that. You could also do a round of the contractual psalms for that would be good. So those are some ideas. You're not going to really have to worry about getting the right psalm. Just if you have the right perspective of what you want, and you can make any psalm work really. Okay, let's see if there's any other questions here. Please advise me. Okay, would the second my Lord be interpreted as your higher self? You could interpret it as your higher self, but just interpret it as yourself, as you, the one that's trying to get the victory over something. You don't think of your higher self as a separate being so much as the you that is overcoming something. Do I have recommendations on sources for learning more on Melchizedek esoterically? Probably, but not off the top of my head. Maybe I'll do that's a great idea as far as either a lecture and or a blog post. So I'll get on that and maybe just keep your eyes open over the next couple of weeks and see if I don't come up with something for you, okay? Those are all great, wonderful questions. It looks like we might have another question coming in here, so I'll just give this a moment. But please do remember that we have a premiere happening in just over 10 minutes here. And, it doesn't look like we do have a question. I hope you enjoyed that psalm. Thank you so much to the amazing moderators. Today we had the lovely Shirley and the lovely Delene. And I can't wait to see you over at our premiere in 10 minutes. Thank you so much for being here today. Much love and many, many blessings.